Welcome back to week 4 Diet Diaries 2.0, because I just finished this recording and immediately deleted it. That's too much time of my life that I'm never going to get back. So now you have to dive in and watch this entire episode, okay? Because this has been done twice now. If I had a brain, I'd be terrifying. Anyway, this is week 4. Well, some point between week 4 and week 3, I've been doing updates. I record these in the middle of the week, or like Thursday, Friday. So today is Friday. Obviously a week runs until Sunday, but I'm never going to record this on a Sunday, so it is what it is. The stats are, the scales are still up from last week. They are not coming down. Steps have been done, cardio has been done, training has been done. My legs are tired and I'm ovulating but don't feel sexy. Take from that what you will. The scales are not my friend at the moment. I know how many conversations I've had over the years where I've spoken to girls about this, whether my clients or just people I know, and been like, you have to learn to see past that one number. And I know it's really great when we can see a data trend and it's like da 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 da. And it's great as coaches when we can be like, oh my God, look how much weight my clients lost. Often that's not the reality. And actually one of the biggest things that gets in the way of people's progress over time is paying too much heed to the scales. Because if I paid attention to the scales this week, I would have stopped trying. I would have stopped paying attention to my deficit. I would have stopped getting my steps in. I would have gone, what's the fucking point in even doing cardio? Because they're not moving. But they're not moving because for me, for my body, and again, this is where I'm like, we love data. I know that I don't often see a weight drop until week 3 of my cycle. Like I am a last minute. And where I was in week 2 of my deficit, maybe week 1, I think the reason I had such a big weight drop early on was just because of where I was at in my cycle. And I don't even think it was just all water. I think it was just purely, a lot of it was hormonal. So I'm holding out for next week. We shall see. All I can do right now is just keep sticking at it. And this does make for quite boring updates because it's really fun when something dramatic happens. But this is the reality. This is where we spend much of our time. And I'm in a slightly more moderate deficit. I'm not super low. I absolutely could go lower. I don't want to. So for me, this is like the price I pay. Output's great. Steps have been over 12,000 every day this week. Last week, I think there was like one day where I was a little bit lower, but there were plenty of days that were higher to make up for it. All cardio has been done with 3 lots of 30 minutes for the week. I will say, oh my God, cardio has been hard this week. Like my legs are in bits, and it could be because I do my cardio after my training sessions. A couple of the cardios have actually been later at night as well. Like one of them was at 10 to 7 the other day, like Wednesday. It was absolutely rancid. I hate training that late, but I had work calls. They also ran late. It's just the way it needed to be done. And so like it is what it is, but I don't love it because I don't love training that late at night because it doesn't do me any favors from a sleep perspective. Bear in mind, my alarm goes off at 5. Yeah, gal needs her beauty sleep. So that side of things has been tough this week, but it's fine. Like it's manageable tough. You've got to pick your hard, right? Bear in mind my cardio is all intervals. So yes, I have Peloton. I do HIIT and heels classes. If you've ever done a Robin HIIT and heels class where she's in triple yellow, you know you're in for a very bad time. So what have I done this week? Robin's HIIT and heels. So I haven't actually shied out. Like this morning's cardio was Tabata. Absolutely disgusting. So it's not like easy, steady state cardio. It's intervals, which is harder. It's more grueling. My legs are in pieces. Everything's still sore. It's week 2 of a new training plan. Maybe even week 3. And I'm in bits. Like I am still so sore. So let's just hope that some of that is a little bit of inflammation. And then we shall see. Next week I'm going to try a new breakfast, not because my current one isn't working, but I haven't really eaten it a lot this week. Like I literally made a batch of baked oats and I just haven't really eaten them because I don't know if it's the new protein powder I've got. My protein don't seem to be doing the maple syrup or the golden syrup flavour that I love. So I bought cereal milk. Would not recommend. Would not recommend. However, this morning I did mix it with a bit of milk and a touch of water to make a protein shake to then pour it on Weetabix. Much better. So next week's breakfast is now going to be Weetabix pretty chick and fruit. So we're gonna make a little change up, but it's also gonna help boost fiber, which if you've ever been on low calories and seen what it does to your digestive system, we need to be paying attention to our fiber. Okay, so that's gonna be on the cards for next week. But other than that, it is a bit of a case of business as usual. And I think this is the part where kind of a lot of people can get frustrated, like especially if you have quite a big drop in weeks 1 and 2, to see nothing really happen in weeks 3 and 4 can feel a bit like, do I need to change the plan? Of course you can change the plan. Like, you can change the plan at any time. I personally choose not to, because I'm like, if I'm feeling good, I'm feeling all right with what I'm doing, I'm just going to play it out another week. If next week things are still looking a bit sketchy, by that point I only have like 2.5 weeks to go until like my original end date, which is my birthday. We had 3 weeks yesterday. So it's like, I've got time to play around with things, and I know that if I drop another 150 calories, I will get more movement. But I don't want to get too overexcited purely based on the scales. I'll pop the pictures here. This is I think the 13th of April or 15th of April through till this week. So it's kind of like 3.5 weeks, hence why this is a week 4 update, but it's kind of week 3 to 4. Yesterday I was looking at this with my arsehole head on, posted on my stories about how like I wasn't seeing any changes. God bless the people that messaged and were like, no, I can definitely see some shit going on, which is really kind of them. I literally wasn't posting it for that, more so to be like, look, you're not always going to see favourable changes in your photos, and just because you haven't changed in 3 or 4 weeks doesn't mean that it's actually not working. The other side of things is I can tell within my body that I'm feeling a little bit better, just in a variety of ways. Nothing's like massively changed. I mean, I wear gym stuff most of the time, so like the fit of them's not really going to change for a couple of kilos, but the mirror that is literally behind you, my mirror's here, windows here, mirrors here. This is the one that I like see myself in of a morning. Obviously where the world is lighter in the morning, I can now see, and I'm definitely seeing more definition both through midsection and actually on my legs a little bit, which is nice because my legs are very fucking slow to respond. So that's really nice to see. And there's also one specific patch of mirroring in the gym. Most of the lighting in my gym makes you look like a fucking potato. Like, it draws attention to all my cellulite. It makes me look like I've never stepped foot in a gym in my life. Yuck, yuck, yuck. One little patch has that perfect lighting from above where everything pops. All of your muscle definition pops. But it's just really hard to get a photo. And it's also right in front of all of the dumbbells. So it's always full of people. But I did say to my boyfriend, like, if there's a point in time where there's not really anybody around, can you try and grab a photo for me where I'm not going to want to be sick in my own mouth? So we shall see. I also went to train at another gym last week. Basically, I don't do any of my like form tutorial recordings in my gym because I'm really scared that at 6 a.m. they're going to think I'm the most self-absorbed person in the world. It's already hard enough walking around with a tripod. So I take myself off to another gym. I go in the middle of the day. Nobody knows who I am. Awesome. But actually their mirrors were showing some good things. So again, this was last week. The other side of things is like, I have been looking back on the fact that we've been up in Manchester for the last year. When I joined the gym that I'm at now, I was obviously fresh off the back of a move. We effectively we had patches of time where we were basically living in a hotel. We were still living with my dad. It was all very up and down. The process of moving, of like getting the keys. We had a couple of nights in the hotel whilst we had the keys, but because we were painting and like we had the carpets replaced and all stuff like that. I probably ate more McDonald's in that week than I'd had in the previous year. Like, nothing was on point. Stress levels were incredibly high. I was still working whilst doing all of this. And I remember walking into the gym the first time we went in there and I was like, oh my God. All of the girls in the gym were tiny. I just felt like a She-Hulk. I felt disgusting. I was so bloated, so swollen. I'd gained weight anyway a little bit at the beginning of last year just through taking my eye off the ball. And I was like, this doesn't feel good. Like, this doesn't feel like me. I feel very miserable. I then proceeded to start a diet last summer, but I just didn't really get anywhere. Again, I lost between 1 and 2 kilos from top to bottom. Like, I just didn't really get anywhere. So it's really cool year on to be like, actually now I can see the changes. And bear in mind, I'm actually only 2 kilos off the original scale weight, 2 to 3 at its most, right? So that's kind of nice. It's nice to feel the difference, even when one specific metric, the scales, isn't showing masses. So that's pretty cool. Body image did take a knock when I went to the other gym, not because of anyone there, they're all great. But this gym, it's Hale in Oldham, if anyone knows it. It's basically full of either bodybuilders or honour active, able, define, ambassadors, athletes, etc. So all the girls are dinky, muscular in like full co-ord outfits, hair, makeup, looking great, teeny tiny waists, big juicy glutes. They're all in their 20s. I rock up at nearly 35 going, okay. And I messaged my friend and I was like, oh my God, like I can't, like I cannot, I'm old, I'm obviously going down the pan, like what on earth do I think I'm playing at? And she was like, are any of these 20-year-olds lifting what you're doing in the gym? And to be fair, no, they were not, which is quite nice. This is not me saying, by the way, that these girls aren't strong, because they are. And I follow a couple of them on Instagram and like, they are incredible, but they are also 10 years younger than me. So I'm like, do you know what? We have to make allowances for that. Not excuses, allowances. And then I went back in the comfort of my gym and was doing 100 kilo RDLs this week. And I was like, do you know what? You're all right for maybe somewhat of an older bird. How embarrassing, like how awful is that though? Like 35, I'm starting to feel older. And I obviously hope to be doing this for a long time, not only because this is like literally my job, but just a moment where I'm like, okay, I am getting older. And I look back at like 22-year-old me and she had no freaking clue. Luckily, like I am hotter now. I've got way more muscle, got a much better body at 35 than 22, but still little touch of, oh dear God, this week. But I think that's normal and we just got to roll with the punches. Genuinely, it feels like another boring update. But the reason I also wanted to bring you guys on this journey is to show you that it's not all instant gratification, seeing loads of changes, the scales dropping down linearly every week, you feeling incredible inside 7 days. Like this is part of playing the long game. And obviously I was only doing a 6-week tidy up anyway before my birthday. I'm probably going to look to carry this on afterwards, once I've had like a wonderful diet break for whatever is being put in place for my 35th. But like this was only a bit of a vanity project, and from that I'm getting to where I want to be. I've got the confidence to start wearing a bit more colour again. I've just bought a pair of pink gym shorts. I'm never a girly girl. Like pink, pastel colours, light colours, not usually my thing, but I'm like, do you know what, you work hard, why not? So that's the vibe, that's where we're at. Nothing much is changing coming into next week. I'm hoping to recoup a little bit of sleep this weekend, so that hopefully I can start next week not feeling like my body is made of dried pasta and it's about to crack at any moment. All in all, for week 3 going into week 4, feeling good, feeling happy. Hopefully we'll see another scale weight drop next week, but for now it's business as usual, and this is part of the process. Thank you so much for joining me for another Deficit Diaries update. I will be back with you next week.